Hello and welcome to another edition of Son of Kaiju Review. I'm Protomet.
I am Tank.
Apparently he's an actual tank because he has the same voice as a tank. And today we will be taking a look at the Weird West movie, The Beast of Hollow Mountain.
There's cowboys in this movie.
Yes.
And Bendejo, no.
Jerks.
Yes. Like, not so friendly people.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts as a swear word or not.
I don't know.
It's like I'm not fluent enough in the language to know for sure.
That's why I just stopped. So the movie pretty much starts out, they're walking.
The group are searching a mountainous area led by the Americano, gringo, farmer or rancher Jimmy.
Senor Jimmy.
And his business partner Felipe.
Yes. And some other person, I don't think we really get a name.
Yeah, no, he kind of ditches them.
Yeah.
To kind of give you a good idea of how stable Jimmy's ranch situation is.
Yeah,
his workers just are leaving in droves, and the reason they're searching this mountainous, swampy area is because some of their cattle is missing, which they suspect may be the work of a rival rancher in the area, who we'll get to soon enough.
Very. Jerk.
But unfortunately, aside from a single cattle which has apparently drowned itself, maybe.
Yeah, the swamp is very deep, maybe quicksand level.
Yeah,
sinking.
Because Felipe does get stuck at one point, but they do manage to get him out.
Yes, he tries to lasso a rock, but it doesn't really. It gets around the rock, but it just
comes loose.
Comes loose pretty quickly.
But he is saved.
Yes, he gets saved by Senor Jimmy.
So, with the cattle gone and they don't know where to go, they head back to the ranch to find that a lot of their staff have just up and left.
Yes,
claiming that the mountain swallowed the cows.
Well, something in the mountain might have swallowed some cows.
We're not at that point.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah, a good chunk of this movie just feels like a regular Western movie. A good one.
Yes, nothing wrong. Westerns are fun. You know, they can be if you're into those.
I wouldn't even say it's a gunsling movie. It's just like a drama about a ranch.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's This Americano man wants to just raise cattle in. I believe they're in Mexico.
I believe so. Yeah.
You know, it's just.
That's pretty much what the population of the nearby town are comprised of.
Yeah, so.
But Jimmy, he goes into town.
We see a young boy just sitting by a horse. Then his father comes out of a bar.
And we are, of course...
the cantina, I should say.
And we are then introduced to Pancho and his son Panchito.
Okay. Pancho is definitely the comic relief character.
Oh, yes.
He is just the town drunk. Like,
yeah.
He hit the tequila a little too hard. He tried... Oh, okay, first of all, before this happens, there's kids throwing fireworks out at, like, people riding horses.
I think they're, like, the ones where you just toss them at the ground and it pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to play with those.
Yeah, I did, too. And, you know, Pancho's trying to get onto his horse. They throw it. The horse gets startled. Pancho gets drug from...
Thankfully, Jimmy is there to save the day.
Yes.
He saves Pancho's life.
The man was drunk enough to the point where he wasn't going to feel any pain anyway.
Yeah, but...
But I've never been drugged behind a horse before. It looks effing painful.
Yeah. Yeah. But Jimmy saves the day.
Yeah. Then an attractive woman...
Sarita.
Sarita.
That's her name, by the way.
Yeah.
Sarita.
Sarita. Yeah, Sarita shows up and pretty much kind of just scolds Pancho for leaving the house.
He's not supposed to go out and get drunk because he keeps going out and getting drunk.
Yep. You need, pretty much saying you need to be a better influence on your son, etc., etc.
Apparently the reason Pancho even drinks is because he's mourning the loss of his wife.
Yeah.
Who probably died a good long while ago.
Yeah, but, the drink can take over big time somebody's life.
So that's why he becomes an alcoholic. He's a sympathetic character.
Exactly. He kind of gets off the drink, to help out, but we're not to that point yet.
Right. Sarita thanks Jimmy for saving Pancho and
Okay, I believe Jimmy's going to the bank.
Possibly. That might be a little later.
Yeah, but he's Sarita's husband or fiance.
Enrique. Actually,
Ugh.
I think that is later in the movie. But I think after the whole saving Pancho, Sarita invites Jimmy to her place where he has a chat with her father, Don Pedro.
Don Pedro. Like he's like the, let's say...
He's the head rancher of the region.
Yes. He is. And he's quite kind to Senor Jamie.
Unfortunately, we are also soon introduced to Enrique Rios, who is Sarita's fiance.
And the rival rancher to Jimmy.
Yeah, he's basically the character we're supposed to believe is potentially responsible for the disappearance of Jimmy's cattle.
Yeah.
And his staff.
He's not, well...
He's not a nice guy.
No, he is not.
He is doing everything in his power to make Jimmy's business fail.
I'm trying to make Jimmy's life a living hell.
Yes. Jimmy, to his credit, is trying to do his best to just run his ranch.
Yeah. Yeah. And they almost get into fisticuffs.
But Don Pedro stops him. It's like, hey, this is my house. Stop that.
Stop that. Just we'll slap him on the hand. Just knock it off.
So they part ways, though Enrique is clearly pissed off.
Yes. He thinks Jimmy has eyes for his woman. Well, he might. She's a very attractive lady.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of men had eyes for her women. But he thinks that she reciprocates.
Yes.
Which he's a jealous lover.
Exactly.
Sort of man.
Jealous Latin lover.
Yes. I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm not. No. So,
Jimmy goes back to the ranch, where he and Felipe discover someone is there.
Yes.
It's Pancho and Panchito.
Yep. They said they want to help work. But then Sarita shows up.
Well, Jimmy agrees to let Pancho and Panchito work there because they inform him that it's the other employees who have up and left were paid off. Oh. And they were also paid off to claim that it was the mountain that's stealing the cattle and being all superstitious and make it seem like Jimmy's ranch is cursed or something. Yeah. But they saw the situation. They know what's happening.
Yeah, so
they come to help out. Jimmy is a little hesitant at first, but Panchito agrees to be responsible for his father and make sure he doesn't go out drinking. And Pancho's like, we'll work for you until you can get some new employees. Then we'll head back to...
Yeah.
Because apparently they technically work for Don Pedro. Or at least Don Pedro's family is looking after him.
Yeah.
Which is when Sarita shows up.
Yeah. Sarita rides up on her horse, kind of confronts Jimmy about having Pedro and Don Pedro.
Pancho and...
Did I say Pancho?
You said...
Wrong people.
Yes.
Folks, that is called a fuck up. I don't regret anything, but there's people in this movie that you it's hard to remember who is who.
But Sarita thinks that Jimmy has headhunted Pancho and Panchito, making them work in place of his missing. But Pancho and Panchito explain their situation to Sarita, and explain that they're doing it completely by their own free will, and they're just trying to help out this guy who saved Pancho's life.
Yes, it's very much so. And they do so-and-so amount of work, as much work as Panchito can do.
Yes, but he's more responsible for his father.
Yeah, he's just keeping watch that his father doesn't go to back to the canteen.
He definitely helps out, but...
Yeah. Like, super hard labor stuff, maybe not so much, but the kid can ride a damn horse.
I like Pancho's redemption arc in this.
Yeah.
He goes from drunk to, I've been a drunk for a while. I should really start taking responsibility. Thank you for opening my eyes. In all the span of, one scene.
Yep.
He's my favorite character, honestly.
When we rewatched this yesterday, honestly, it was... When I saw him show up, I'm like, I was confused on what movie, because we watched this before. What movie it was, because we've watched a lot of movies. Then he came out of the cantina, and my ass broke out laughing.
Yeah, because then you remembered which movie we were watching.
Yep.
That's quality character right there.
You're just like,
It's like, oh, now I know what movie we were watching.
Yep.
The one with the reformed drunk.
Yep. Oh, his arc is good, but
Yeah, well, we'll get to that.
Yep.
But Sarita goes to Jimmy to apologize for her misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm. Then, out of nowhere, her horse randomly runs off. And pretty much Jimmy says, you can take my horse or you can get a ride.
It's like, you can take my horse. I can go pick that up later.
So, pretty much he takes the ride with Jimmy back to town. And,
Enrique notices.
Yes. And we have a good old-fashioned Western brawl.
Jimmy goes to, the telegraph office to pick up a letter from the person he's trying to sell his cattle to. And before Jimmy can actually read the letter, Enrique whips it out of his hand. And the two get into a pretty damn good street fight.
Yep. Well, it's pretty... It's good for the time. It's great for that time.
We get some broken pottery, some damaged foodstuffs.
Yeah, it just... They fake whoop the crap out of each other.
It's a good scene. And really highlights just how much Enrique hates Jimmy for really no actual reason.
Yeah, he's just he was jealous that he gave his wife or fiance a ride back to town.
That's even Sarita later gives him an earful.
Yeah, he's like,
it's like if we were doing something, we wouldn't ride out into the middle of town in front of everybody. Come on.
She says that straight out.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was like it's some fights are in movies are 1-2 punch.
This one goes on for a few minutes. Not nearly as long as They Live, which is a movie I've never seen.
You should. It's very good.
But I do know how long it is because I saw the
fucking fight
I saw the fight. I saw the parody of it in South Park.
Yeah, that took half the show. Cripple fight. Just
I mean, it's not nearly as long as that fight, but it's a lengthy fight.
Yeah.
And Jimmy comes out victorious.
Yes, but not unscathed. That's
he's injured too, but
he's
still able to get up and walk out.
He's like leaves and he's limping. He's like he picks up his mail, reads it, and just walks away.
The letter is from the person, like I said, from the person he's trying to sell it to. The letter says, "Your price is agreeable. We'll buy them on the 10th of June."
Yeah,
which is just a couple days because the letter is dated like June 6th or 7th.
so that's they just... So, Don Pedro meets Jimmy at Jimmy's ranch. And, Jimmy's... when I first saw this scene where he's trying to, stop the swelling, I thought he had a piece of meat.
I think they, take a piece of meat and put it in, the thing.
Yeah, just
because it certainly looks like he's got, a cold piece of meat up
just,
his face.
trying to stop the swelling.
And
that's lunch, man.
Apparently, the reason Don Pedro came is because Enrique is not in a position to do so himself because of the fight.
God, that fight was good.
Yeah.
So he's just telling him, pretty much saying,
Enrique is willing to buy Jimmy's ranch.
Yeah.
He's willing to buy Jimmy's ranch on the condition that Jimmy not just that Jimmy leaves, but that Jimmy also sell him all the cattle that he's trying to sell. So that the cattle would then become Enrique's, so that Enrique can sell Jimmy's cattle and make
get more money.
Yeah. A part of the reason why Jimmy and Enrique are at odds with each other is because Jimmy is willing to sell his cattle at the fair market price, whereas Enrique is willing to sell his for a
much larger price.
Yes, and apparently there may be some black market deals going on, as Jimmy implies.
Yes, but that was earlier in the film, and that almost became the up to fisticuffs with Don Julio.
Don Pedro.
Don Julio. I blame the raisin.
Yes, it's the raisin's fault. No context. But we then get to Enrique's place, where Sarita is kind of giving him that chat.
Oh, she's giving him the business.
She's laying into him. It's like, come on. If we were doing something, we wouldn't ride out into the middle of town where everybody... That part I said earlier.
Yeah, she reams him a new butt, pretty much. By
Jimmy, of course, doesn't want to sell his land, I feel I should mention, before we move away.
Yeah.
But, we see that Enrique is able to walk around, but...
Both of them are limping.
A bit, yeah. But this whole fight situation has gotten Enrique even more upset with Jimmy.
Yeah.
And while he does apologize for getting into a fight with Jimmy for absolutely no actual reason other than his own jealousy.
Yes. It's just like...
That doesn't mean that he's going to stop being a dick.
No.
And he basically hires a couple guys to go join Jimmy and Felipe as part of a plan to make Jimmy's cattle stampede on the day of a fiesta that's coming up, which is also the day that he and Sarita are to be married.
I think we jumped over where Pancho and went into the swamp.
So the cattle, some more cattle go missing. Pancho and Pochito head out to go search for them. They get to the foot of Hollow Mountain, which everybody is afraid of. They think it's cursed.
Yeah.
And Pancho is like, I'm going to go into the mountain. When it gets to this time that this shadow of this post reaches this rock, you go back and tell Jimmy what happened if I don't come back by then.
Yes, So
Panchito returns to the ranch and tells Jimmy and Felipe. They go to the mountain to try and search for him.
Yep, and they find a sombrero. Only a sombrero.
Yes. Something quite unfortunate happened to Pancho, as we implicitly see.
Yes,
we don't see what specifically, but we
he
know
shoots at it. He shoots his gun at it.
But it runs out of ammo, and he is attacked by something. Just to remind you, this is a giant monster movie.
Yeah. So it's not just a Western that had a good cattle run and fight.
It's a weird Western.
Yes.
Yeah, this is like the first indicator that this is actually a weird Western movie, other than the implication that something other than Enrique is causing the problems.
Yes. So, Panchito
He's broken up. He wants to go into the mountainous area and go find his father.
But they don't have the heart to tell him that he might be...
So they take him back to Sarita and Don Pedro's place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know that they can look after them well.
Well, there's much more people there that keep watch.
It's just really Jimmy and Felipe at the ranch, and they're kind of busy with
ranch work.
It's at around this point that Jimmy decides that he's going to cut his losses, and once they sell off the cattle, the ranch is Felipe's, and he's going to head out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, take the hint after they don't get a bank loan because of Enrique's influence on the region.
That's a terrible thing, but they in this excuse me, they have they go to the bank and they said they can't give them the money or something like that, or it's outright stated that it's because of Enrique's influence in the region. Yeah,
even the guy who Jimmy's trying to get the loan from that says as such, and he's sympathetic for Jimmy, but his hands are tied because of how influential.
Yeah, he almost runs the town, almost.
Yeah,
Don Pedro, I think, really.
Don Pedro does, but Enrique, he's the one who really has the power. It's kind of like how Giranzabi has control of Zion, even though his dad is basically the king of it.
Yeah.
Gundam reference. I mean, it's.
Hey. If you're dealing with him, you will get Gundam references.
Plus, it was
it's related to the plot.
Yes, it's a good comparison.
Yes. So they're gonna cut their losses. They're gonna try to sell the.
They're gonna round up what's left of the cattle. And I think it's about this point that once Enrique learns that Jimmy isn't going to sell the ranch and the cattle to him, he decides to come up with the stampede plan.
Yes. And,
then the day of the fiesta. And Panchito, still upset over his missing father, rides out after the old lady at Don Pedro's place just comes right out and says, "Yeah, look, your dad is dead." And Panchito's like, "No, he's not. I'm going to go find him."
Yeah. I'm sorry. That was a shitty thing for her to do, but at the same time, someone had to tell him.
I mean,
but it didn't have to be her.
Not in that situation.
Exactly. Maybe Sarita would have been probably a better person to explain that to, because
So then the old lady goes to tell Sarita, and immediately she's distracted by the fact that she's not in her wedding dress. Like, come on, why are you not in your wedding dress? Oh, right, Panchito ran off. Almost forgot about that.
Saddle up my horse.
Seriously, the old lady, she's going to go inform Sarita about Panchito. But then as soon as she sees the dress just sitting there on the dress stand, she's like, "Why are you not in your dress?" "Oh, right. This other more important thing."
Yeah, so...
So Sarita goes off to go look for Panchito. Jimmy and Felipe find out. Around this time, they have to deal with a stampede situation because of Enrique's men. It becomes a bit chaotic in a very easy to follow way. It's easy to follow, but it's definitely a chaotic situation for everybody.
Yes.
Also, Enrique is running around somewhere at some point.
Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, he tells some of his men that it's not going to be Jimmy's cattle that will be getting. It'll be his cattle.
Well, he kind of wants that cattle to be his in the first place. So
yeah,
but.
Yeah.
Anyway, stampede, such and such situation. Dinosaur!
Yep. Random T-Rex.
With a long tongue.
Just very lizardy, but
like
hilarious.
Cartoon lizardy.
Just
waggles around like a whip. Like a wacky inflatable arm flailing like two man's arm.
Yeah, just out of its mouth. I'm thinking at this. Well, they didn't really know what.
Silence was kind of weird.
Yeah. So they might have thought it might have been like an actual lizard tongue.
Like a like a Gene Simmons tongue.
That might have rivaled Gene Simmons' tongue.
And they accomplish the dinosaur by a combination of some suit effects, but mostly stop motion.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, you can definitely tell there's the feet. Like when it...
Our suit.
Our suit.
The feet, the suit feet, they look good.
Yes.
But then you see the stop motion T-Rex and it's like, oh.
Okay.
It's not terrible.
No.
It's certainly not convincing by today's standards.
No, this would be a piece of crap to this. But, you know, it's still good. It was good for the time.
Yeah.
Yes, but, you know, it's...
Late 50s.
So, they're shooting at it.
Sarita and Panchito get stuck in like this random cabin that's out in the desert.
Yeah, it's
at the foot of the mountain, which is where Pancho had told Panchito to wait until a certain time. Jimmy shows up to try and save Sarita and Panchito. Enrique shows up to try and kill Jimmy, only to learn that there's a goddamn Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yep. He's like, what the hell? Just start shooting.
They get... They both of them have to hide inside the hollow of a tree.
Yep, just like
with the T-Rex out there trying to get him.
Yeah, just like,
Felipe, Don Pedro, and some other guys show up with Sarita, save Sarita and Panchito, and they go right in as backup.
Yep.
They shoot at the dinosaur to distract him. Jimmy's able to escape, but Enrique is not so fortunate. Unfortunately,
he gets grabbed by the two T-Rex fingers and looked like he gets chokeslammed to the ground.
Yeah, he gets. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, he deserved it, but at the same time, I do kind of feel like he and Jimmy were starting to not be as antagonistic towards each other.
At this time, we gotta save some people here.
Like, I could definitely see that both of them realized, hey, our situation is kind of minor compared to this thing.
Yeah, that freaking thing is eating my cattle. So. They pretty much
shoot at it, and it does take damage, but it's more pissed off than anything.
Yes. It's bleeding.
So Jimmy takes command of the situation, and he lures the T-Rex to the swamp, and using his lasso, manages to pull himself up onto a tree and swings on the rope to lure the dinosaur in, and it ultimately gets sucked down into the swamp.
Yep, it sure did. And the movie ends.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I mean, there's like a little bit of like a follow-up to the situation, but it kind of gets lost in the whole, there's a goddamn dinosaur now.
Yeah, but just like, yeah.
This movie has a goddamn dinosaur in it for some reason.
A strange Western that randomly has a dinosaur.
I mean, I do like this movie. Yeah. I think the dramatic parts of the movie definitely carry the film.
Yes.
And then the T-Rex just kind of happens.
Yep. He's like, rawr!
It's like, I'm not even saying that the T-Rex situation is bad.
No.
It just comes completely out of nowhere if you didn't know that this movie was called Beast of Hollow Mountain.
Yep. And that was the Beast of the Hollow Mountain.
Like, part of me felt like when we were first watching that we could like hear the dinosaur off in the distance, but rewatching it, I don't think that was the case. So maybe I was just mishearing some musical cues or something.
Maybe.
Because I was so sure that we could hear the dinosaur. But rewatching the movie, it's like, oh, wait, no, never mind.
No.
Guess not.
I like this movie.
This is a pretty good movie. A wacky movie that certainly won't hold up to harsh criticism.
Yes.
But I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Haters are going to hate.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would recommend it if you want to watch a older type.
Weirder movie.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just...
I mean, it does definitely fall into the category of time-displaced dinosaur movie a bit more than Kaiju.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to consider them technically Kaiju since they're so time-displaced.
Yeah. Just like...
The stop
Why
motion.
would it be there?
The stop motion effects are decent for the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think they were a bit better in some situations.
Yeah.
But just the drama is definitely the highlight of the film.
Yes. Yes. It's just the plot was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Just
Like it felt like a decent ranch movie.
yeah.
With a decent villain character,
Mm-hmm.
and then T-Rex shows up.
It's like WTF moment right there, you know, just like what the fuck?
I mean, I know that we kind of harshly criticized another movie, King Dinosaur, for having its main monster show up like 3/4 of the way into the movie, and this monster technically shows up a little earlier than that,
Yeah.
but we first really get to see it
Mm-hmm.
much later in the movie.
Yes.
But that movie was just terrible.
Yeah, King Dinosaur fucking sucked.
Like, it did not have an engaging plot. It was just a bunch of... I can't even... I'm going to leave it there, because otherwise we're just going to complain about that movie more.
Yeah.
This movie, at least... Beast of Hollow Mountain has an engaging plot, and then the dinosaur stuff happens.
Yeah.
And
They didn't nuke a planet. How the hell did they have a nuke anyway?
I'm trying to move on from the situation.
I'm sorry. We'll cut that. We'll cut that out there.
Nope.
Okay.
But yeah, this was a fun movie.
Yes. We'll be doing more of these type movies coming up in the future, but because we have a bunch.
Oh yeah, we've got a lot of movies to get through.
Yep.
We've barely scratched the surface of what we've been able to watch so far.
Yep.
And we've got a bunch more movies to watch, so
Yeah.
we hope to keep doing this forever. Maybe.
Well, hopefully.
And then when we finally run out, then we'll talk about Men in Black. Mom. No context. We good to wrap this up?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I'm sorry. I totally forgot about it.
So, until next time, this has been me, Protomet.
I'm Tank.
See ya.
Bye. Why do we keep waving?